Ever felt like you're carrying the weight of both your world and everyone else's on your shoulders? Like you're constantly caught between wanting to change the world and needing to hide away from it? If you're nodding along, chances are you might be an INFJ, one of the rarest personality types out there. But hey, being rare doesn't mean you have to struggle alone. I'm here to share some life-changing strategies that can make your unique INFJ journey a whole lot smoother. Understanding your INFJ superpowers. Let's kick things off by celebrating what makes you special. As an INFJ, you've got this amazing ability to read between the lines and pick up on things others miss completely. You're like a human emotional radar, catching subtle shifts in energy that fly right past most people. And that deep, intuitive understanding of human nature, that's your superpower right there. But here's the thing. These gifts can sometimes feel more like burdens, right? That's why we're diving into practical ways to make your daily life easier while embracing who you are at your core. Creating your perfect sanctuary. For an INFJ, your home isn't just a place to crash, it's your refuge from the world's chaos. Start by carving out a quiet corner that's all yours. Maybe it's a cozy reading nook with soft lighting and comfy pillows, or a small desk facing a window where you can journal and dream. The key is making this space totally yours, where you can recharge without any external demands or energy drains. Take it a step further by decluttering regularly. As an INFJ, you're sensitive to your environment, and physical chaos can quickly turn into mental chaos. But don't feel pressured to go full minimalist. Keep the things that truly spark joy and meaning in your life. Setting boundaries without the guilt. Here's a tough truth. You can't pour from an empty cup, even though you're probably trying to. As an INFJ, you're naturally attuned to others' needs, often at the expense of your own. Let's change that narrative. Start small with boundary setting. Practice saying, "I'll need to think about that," instead of an immediate yes when someone asks for your time or energy. Give yourself permission to take a beat before responding to non-urgent messages. Remember, boundaries aren't walls, they're bridges to healthier relationships. Navigating social energy like a pro. Social interaction for INFJ is kind of like solar charging. You need some of it to thrive, but too much can leave you feeling burned out. The trick is finding your sweet spot. Instead of large group hangouts that drain you, opt for one-on-one deep conversations with people who get you. Consider implementing what I like to call the social battery budget. Just like you budget money, budget your social energy. Maybe that looks like one big social event per week, followed by plenty of alone time to recover. Or perhaps it's shorter, more frequent connections with your inner circle, turning your sensitivity into strength. That deep sensitivity you have? It's not a weakness. It's your secret weapon. Instead of trying to toughen up or become less affected by things, learn to work with your natural tendencies. Create regular emotional check-ins with yourself, just like you would with a close friend. Keep a feeling journal, but make it practical. Instead of just venting, look for patterns. What situations consistently drain you? What activities reliably recharge you? Use this information to design your ideal week. Managing the overthinking loop. Let's talk about that constant mind chatter. You know, the one that keeps you up at 3 a.m. analyzing that one thing you said 5 years ago. As an INFJ, your brain is wired for deep processing, but it doesn't have to control you. Try implementing the thought parking lot technique. Keep a small notebook handy, and whenever you catch yourself in an overthinking spiral, write down the thought and promise yourself you'll come back to it during a designated reflection time. This helps prevent analysis paralysis while still honoring your need to process things thoroughly. Finding your purpose without pressure. The INFJ drive to find meaning and purpose is beautiful, but it can also be overwhelming. Instead of trying to figure out your entire life's purpose in one go, break it down into smaller, manageable pieces. What's one small way you can make a difference today? Maybe it's writing an encouraging message to someone who's struggling, or volunteering for a cause you care about for just a few hours a month. Remember, your purpose doesn't have to be grand to be meaningful. Dealing with the perfectionist within, that inner perfectionist of yours, it's time to make peace with it. Instead of trying to silence it completely, give it a new job. Rather than demanding perfection in everything, let it focus on the things that truly matter to you. For less important tasks, try setting time limits. Give yourself 30 minutes to clean the house instead of 3 hours, or 45 minutes to write that email instead of endlessly editing it. Done is better than perfect, especially for routine tasks. Nurturing your creative side. As an INFJ, you've got a rich inner world bursting with creativity. Don't let it stay locked inside. Find ways to express yourself that feel authentic to you. Maybe it's through writing, art, music, or even gardening. The medium doesn't matter as much as the expression itself. Set aside regular time for creative pursuits, even if it's just 15 minutes a day. Think of it as essential maintenance for your INFJ soul, not a luxury. Building your support system. You might be independent, but you don't have to do everything alone. Build a small but solid support system of people who understand and appreciate your unique way of being in the world. Look for friends who energize rather than drain you, who understand your need for space without taking it personally. And don't forget about professional support when needed. Finding a therapist who understands INFJ traits can be game-changing for working through challenges specific to your personality type. Making peace with your contradictions. You're an enigma. Someone who loves humanity but needs plenty of alone time, who sees multiple perspectives but has strong values, who's both logical and emotional. Instead of trying to resolve these contradictions, embrace them. They're what make you uniquely you. Create a life that allows for all parts of your personality to exist harmoniously. Maybe that means having both structured routines and spontaneous creative time, or balancing social activism with personal boundaries. Practical daily habits for INFJ. Well-being. Let's get super practical here. Start your day with a morning routine that sets you up for success. Maybe that's 10 minutes of journaling, a quiet cup of coffee before anyone else is awake, or a peaceful walk to gather your thoughts. Throughout the day, schedule short breaks for emotional and mental reset. Even 5 minutes of quiet time between activities can help prevent overwhelm. End your day with a wind-down routine that helps you process and release the day's emotions. Conclusion. Being an INFJ isn't always easy, but it's certainly beautiful. Your depth of feeling, insight, and desire to make the world better are gifts that the world desperately needs. By implementing these strategies and giving yourself permission to live authentically, you can create a life that feels both meaningful and manageable. Remember, it's okay to take things one day at a time. You don't have to have it all figured out right now. Focus on progress over perfection and be as gentle with yourself as you are with others. Your sensitivity is your strength, your introversion is your power, and your uniqueness is your gift to the world. End with a gentle call to action. Which of these strategies resonates most with you? Take a moment to reflect on one small change you can make today to honor your INFJ nature. Sometimes, the smallest shifts create the biggest ripples.